Hello and welcome to the Rogue MFA. I'm Bree, and today we're talking about my absolute favorite subject in all of writing, epistolary elements. So I have been a certified freak for epistolary for a really long time. I wrote my college thesis on epistolary elements, specifically in YA literature. But regardless, I have always been a big fan of primary source documents as far as defining and exploring character goes, because where are we more honest than in speaking for ourselves? Or where are we more dishonest in speaking for ourselves? So since it's Character Month over on the Rogue MFA on Substack, I thought that this would be a perfect opportunity to talk about some epistolary prompts that might make it into your finished book, because I think that epistolary elements are a really fun way of breaking up traditional chapters. But even if they don't make it into your final draft, epistolary can be a really great way of brainstorming and better defining your character's voice and who they are. So these are 5 prompts that might help you get to that core of them to design better, more interesting and complex characters. Number 1. Journals, diaries, or private blogs. These are classics for a reason, right? Where can you be more unfiltered and honest and frustrated and cathartic than your own private diary or journal? Now, of course, when you get into adult works of fiction, it is more uncommon for a character to regularly keep a journal or even a blog, even in today's age. So, maybe it's not so much what are they literally putting in their journal or diary, but instead the prompt could be what would they be writing about and how would they be writing about it in their diary if they were to keep one. Remember, some of these are just useful as character development exercises, so it doesn't have to be a literal thing that you're capturing of theirs. It's better if it is, obviously, because there's a lot more use cases for that, but it's all part and parcel to building complex characters. So if this is a prompt that speaks to you, great, get journaling. Number 2, recent text history, or if you're working in historical, recent letter history. What are the last 3 letters they wrote? But I really like, for contemporary, obviously, recent text history as a prompt, because just look at your own, literally go look at your own recent text history. What are the last 5 messages that you sent? Are there people who are texting you that you haven't responded to yet? Why or why not? All of these things tell you a lot about how a person communicates. Do they talk in full sentences? Do they use a lot of emojis? Is it dependent on who they're sending messages to? And also what is the background of their day-to-day life? Who are the people that they're most regularly talking to? How are they talking to them? And what can this tell us about maybe what needs taking up in their life? Number 3, lists. Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm a list girl, and so lists are always going to be a part of my life as well as my characters. But think about the list that your character makes. Are they a to-do list person? Are they a grocery list person? And when they write their grocery list, is it things like breakfast stuff? Or is it the literal flavor, quantity, and brand name of exactly what they want? Do they do their own grocery shopping? That can also influence what makes it onto that list. Are they a New Year's resolutions person? If they write it out, do they actually follow them? Are they someone who likes the idea of being a New Year's resolutions person, but perhaps never really follows through with it? Why or why not? What are their priorities that then they end up leaving behind on week 2? Do they have a bucket list that they're working through, or a bucket list from a close friend or family member that they're working through because of guilt and grief? Lists tell us a lot about people, and they can also give some structure to a plot when you are struggling to find oh God, what are they doing while I'm taking them on this internal journey? Well, if they're following a list, it might be a little easier. Number 4, their calendar or daily planner. So this is sort of the more personal, perhaps capitalistic version of recent text history, but it can just tell you a lot about what is your character doing day to day? What does their regular day look like? And how are they keeping themselves on track throughout? Are they somebody who color codes their digital calendar and is really specific? So specific, in fact, that they're also having to schedule bathroom breaks for themselves? Or are they a person that kind of just like writes things down as they like absolutely need to remember it, but otherwise it's kind of bouncing around to their day? How are they reminding themselves of things? Are they someone who's using multiple alarms or notifications to remember stuff because they have time blindness? Do they have a meal plan that they include in their calendar system? What's on the meal plan? How defined is it? Going through the daily routine of your character and figuring out how they figure out their daily routine and how they stay consistent with it can tell you a lot about their behavior, their decision-making processes, and their priorities. Number 5, they're Goodreads or Letterboxd. Now, obviously you don't need to specifically use these websites, and maybe your character isn't even the kind of person who would use a like external tracking app to keep track of what they're listening to, watching, reading, but it would probably be useful for you if you are writing a character in certainly contemporary times, but also in the past. Like, what media is culturally relevant to them? What are they engaging with? Are they somebody who consumes media as like a hobby? Are they someone who consumes it for work? What does their taste tell you about kind of the cultural touch points that they would probably be reaching to as they react to things? Or are they only consuming media when it's like recommended to them or because they think it makes them look smart or important? If they do share their thoughts on this kind of stuff though, it would be really fun to hear what is their review. What is this character's review of this movie that's in the zeitgeist, either at the time at which you're writing it or, you know, present day. Side note, if you're writing a male character whose favorite book is Infinite Jest or their favorite movie is Fight Club, I do consider that a red flag. So those are 5 prompts that may help you either, you know, beef up and add variety to your manuscript draft, but are also certainly going to be useful to beef up and add variety to your character development. Are there other epistolary elements that either you have used or seen used in literature that you really dug? Please tell me. I always love a new epistolary novel or epistolary element in a novel, so I'm always looking for that. And until next time, I've been Bree from the Rogue MFA. Definitely check out the article version of this video, which also talks about a couple of other things you might want to keep in mind when both penning and coming up with the epistolary elements that may help flesh out your world. And I will see you soon.